I just want to welcome you to our 11th group, and this is a chance to discuss how people have been doing and give me some feedback as to your successes with a low-carb diet, but also some of your challenges. So we're just going to take some time here, and people can share whatever's on their mind about what has been happening with a change in eating a low-carb diet and what they still need to work on.
Dr. Reed, know what I have found eating? You know what learning, what we learn over here? My appetite, I'm not hungry.
There you go.
From one meal to I can
Another benefit is
a big benefit.
no hunger.
You don't eat that salt.
Yeah, you don't.
Really? It's amazing.
Right.
I crave water now. I'm
Yeah.
not a water drinker
Yeah.
as much as I should be, but I find by doing that during the day, I crave water. I know for some reason if the water makes me, it helps fill me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I'm drinking it.
Yeah,
I'm looking
there's
for it.
absolutely
And
nothing
I-
wrong with drinking water.
And I'm one that,
Unless you drink
never
enormous
drank
amounts
it
of water.
no, I'm not a water
You're
drinker.
not a water drinker,
No,
no.
but
Yeah, well, that's good.
I
And
don't know.
as long as you're not drinking water with some kind of sugar in it, then you're fine. That's why tea and coffee, if you can drink them without sugar,
I don't, yeah.
then there's really no limit on that.
But I do one bad thing, pudding.
One
But
bad
I have,
thing.
well, I like to do it at night a lot now. I have a cup of hot water.
Yeah,
I'll put a tablespoon of honey,
yeah,
and I put a tablespoon of turmeric, because honey takes the bite of the
Right.
turmeric away,
Yeah.
and I mix it up and I'll drink it.
yeah.
And that's helping with inflammatory.
Okay, so you got some good results with that. That's fine.
That I know.
So as I was saying, people can have stalls where your weight goes down, but then it just stays there. And your body will find set points, okay? My set point is about a BMI of 27, which is to say that I'm 4 or 5 pounds overweight, if you will, okay? But that's my body. That's what works for me. It hasn't changed in years, and all my blood work is good. I feel good. There's no, for me to lose another 10 pounds, what's to gain? You know, now, people may want to try to do that, and if you do, probably a lot of folks are going to find that they've got to cut way back on the carbs, okay, for a good period of time. That means down to what we call a ketogenic diet, 20 grams or less per day, okay? So you go into what's called ketosis, which is fine. There's nothing, that's not ketoacidosis, it's
Yeah,
ketosis.
big difference.
And
yeah.
big difference. And what that means is that your body becomes fully adapted to burning fat. That's it, okay? And as you do that, your body will burn more of your own body fat. Quite frankly, if we just started disappearing, if we kept losing and losing and losing, number one, you might want to check to see if you got some illness. You know, it's one indicator of cancer is you're losing a lot of weight, you know, rapidly over time. But think about survivability. Remember I said that our ability to store fat using carbohydrates for energy and then converting that into body fat, which is what our bodies are designed to do, is a good thing to keep for your survival, okay? If, as a species, we would keep losing weight and losing weight and losing weight and get, you know, emaciated, that's not good, okay? So part of it's kind of coming to some acceptance about what the right weight is for your body if you're otherwise healthy. And, you know, that may not fit the fashion world's idea. We all know, I'm 70 almost, that we tend to put on weight, particularly in our core. And, you know, until you get to your late 80s, you probably aren't going to lose that. Now, if you live a long, healthy life, many older people start losing weight, but that's largely from muscle mass at that point. And that's not necessarily a good thing either. Okay, you become frail at that point. So learn what is healthy for you. Let your body tell you how it's doing. And if you want to try and see if getting to the absolute rock bottom of carbohydrates, whether you might lose another 5 pounds or so, you know, if it's worth the effort. The other thing is fasting. And we've talked a little bit about that, but I went on just a 12-hour fast for 3 weeks, didn't eat any breakfast, but ate lunch and dinner. And that's not a difficult fast to do. You just have coffee in the morning and you stay busy, you forget about breakfast. But I lost 3 pounds in those 3 weeks, but my A1C went down from 5.6 to 5.1. My blood sugar improved
That's how bad sugar
a
is.
great deal. And that's why Jason Fung in Toronto prescribes fasting for people whose A1Cs are 12, 13, 14, and gets many of them off all their medication just by going on 12, sometimes 24-hour fasts and things of that sort. Remember, when you fast, it gives your cells an opportunity to rest so that they can now take in insulin. You're no longer insulin resistant. And that's really important. I know as we all are fascinated with body weight. If we can just run around and be thin as a rail, then we'd be fine. But in fact, you can be insulin resistant at a low body weight and develop heart disease, arthritis, diabetes. People who are diabetic are called thin on the outside, fat on the inside. They carry a lot of visceral fat, and they're on diabetes medications even though they're thin. So that's not necessarily a clear indicator of health, all right? So keep that in mind. And then understand that giving your body a chance to rest from the onslaught of carbohydrates that we have in our culture is really the key.
How about brain function?
Yes.
With less sugar
Thank
and
you.
more fat?
Yep. Brain function improves with less sugar and more fat. I think I mentioned the woman is doing research on Alzheimer's, which she calls type 3 diabetes, because it's diabetes of the brain, if you will. And what she's proposing is that by cutting way back on sugar and glucose in the diet, starches and refined sugars, that you're going to see a lower incidence of Alzheimer's. It's already starting to come down. It's interesting. We don't know why, the rate of Alzheimer's, which is good news. And then the last thing I mentioned last week is cancer. And nobody's yet about to say eating sugar is going to lead to cancer. However, it's quite clear that if you have cancer and you're eating a high-carb diet, it's going to fuel the cancer, because cancer lives on glucose. So there are recommendations for some types of cancer for people to go on a ketogenic diet, no carbs.
Talking about the no hunger, I went yesterday to help something to do with recreation department in Easter.
Yep.
And they were nice enough, as we were doing our thing, the people in the recreation department were nice enough to bring, and we had candy, and they had sugar, danishes to eat.
Oh, yeah.
And I always stay away from all of that. But I was weak it's like, I've been good, I'm gonna treat myself. What happened, I ate all day.
Wow.
Just having the candy and the Danish was enough to trigger me,
We'll do that.
my body. I started eating sugar. I started eating all day.
Yep.
It was awful.
It is. And people will find that, I know a number of people who've done low carb, and then they'll go off for a day or maybe 2 or 3 days, like they're on vacation or something of that sort. It takes them 3 weeks to get back to where they were. So there is an adaptation process. Remember, when you are eating carbs and you go off a lot of carbs, that you go through an induction kind of thing, and your body has to adjust to burning fat. Well, you'll easily lose all that adjustment by adding a lot of carbs, because the first thing your body goes for is carbohydrates. Okay? And then you cut back on the carbs again, and it takes your body another 4 or 5 days to adjust to a lower carb diet. Good. Other things? Yes?
For those who may not know, the A1C test, it's not an overnight test. It's a window
3 months.
representing 3 months of what happened in the past 3 months.
It's a pretty decent measure of blood sugar, because it's long term. And you can get an A1C test at CVS. You don't have to go to the doctor.
Really?
Yeah, $20. Just ask for it.
Your insurance covers it sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes your insurance will cover it. You get $20 for 2. So it's
Okay.
only $10 a test.
Right.
It
Yeah,
used to be
I know.
40, I found the best price at Walmart,
Yes,
but you don't have them all the time,
okay.
you know, so you have to. have
CVS,
two for
Rite
about
Aid, they'll
$20
carry.
Yeah, because they have that little
Really?
clinic there. That little
And
clinic
you can
at
just go and
CVS.
get it done, because I've been
Well, you
really,
can get it done, or you can buy a kit and take it home.
and do it yourself.
Yeah,
it's
and
about
that, it's just a
$21.
finger prick, you
Sure.
squeeze a little blood
Sure,
onto
sure.
a strip, and then you put it in the thing and you shake it up and you wait a few minutes, and it gives you the results. It's that easy.
Well, that's
And
awesome.
I showed my
If you
endocrinologist,
go to
to-
the pharmacy,
I
Walmart
said,
in Swansea.
my A1C was down, but I don't know if the test is accurate. And he said, oh, that's the same test we use.
Wow.
It's $20.33, I think, for two.
Okay.
There you go, right.
Yeah.
And if you don't, they don't have it, ask for them.
Right.
They have, so you just take a blood sample like you do for the glucose.
Right.
Shake it, like I said,
And you
eat
get
that
two?
for 5
You
minutes.
get two
Two.
for $20?
Yeah, so
Go
10
to
bucks.
CVS, they
And you
want
do that every
$40
3
for
months
two.
or so, saves a trip to the doctor and all
Yeah, it
that.
does.
Cheaper.
And
Ah.
because A1C really looks at glycated sugar in your blood over a roughly 3-month period of time, it really tells you more accurately how your blood sugar is, your blood sugar varies no matter what you do. So if you happen to go in the doctor, even though you didn't eat for 12 hours, you may still get a high reading, and that may not be accurate. So A1C is the better way to go. Other positives, anything else that people have discovered?
I
That,
found eating too much cheese really balled me up.
oh, yeah.
I have to resort to fruits.
Right, yeah. That can be a problem for many people. And cheese,
That chia seed bread.
though cheese is convenient, I eat quite a bit of it, as a matter of fact, and I fortunately don't have any problem with that.
I
But
think it's 'cause of the
it's a nice,
flaxseed.
easy way to get fats in your
Helps.
diet. Pardon me?
The flaxseed helps.
Flax
with
seeds
that.
help,
If
yeah.
If you're
So
doing that,
maybe
then you
eat
should
the two
try that
together.
breakfast with the flaxseed because
Yeah.
I'm every morning regular.
Yeah. Flaxseed and chia seed, I mean, that's all fiber, that's,
I
so.
found in the Stop and Shop, you were mentioning both of them, it was already mixed together in one package.
Oh, really?
In the organic aisle.
Oh, neat.
Yep, I'll bring it next week.
Flax and chia together,
Yeah.
wonderful. It's Stop and Shop,
Yeah.
good deal.
Was it
But that's
cheese?
ground up
Six-
already.
It's not
right?
cheap,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was ground.
Yeah,
it was
ground
The
up.
reason I
Grind
love
up
this
now,
stuff,
because I
yeah.
wanna
You're
make
only
sure I get
using
the
a little
benefit.
bit at a time,
Right.
so it lasts.
Things like almond flour are quite expensive, $6, $7, $8, so, for a little pound bag. But you think about it, you buy a pound of almonds, it's gonna cost you that much.
Yeah.
Probably almonds prices are never gonna go down because the farmers, raising the trees is difficult, it takes a lot of water and a lot. But some of these other products, like coconut, those prices can come down if more and more people use them. And that's part of the problem being a low-carb diet is that since the rest of the world isn't, you're paying, for a niche market, and that's it, so prices are gonna be higher. Let me pass this out. I just found this week. I have a friend whose wife has had all kinds of digestive problems, and she has gone on a low-carb diet without knowing it, because what she's learned is that by reducing carbohydrates, it can reduce problems with irritable bowel syndrome. There you go. Well, lo and behold, the diet she follows is called the specific carbohydrate diet. You ever heard of it?
No.
I haven't either. Turns out there's a website for it, and there's a woman in Dartmouth who does baked goods, and that's what I'm passing out here, for that diet. Now, you can see the prices are not inexpensive,
Right.
but if you don't like baking and you want an almond cake, my friend got a birthday cake there, it's like he wasn't going to bake that, but he could buy one for $7, so. So that's an alternative. I think she bakes out of her home and then delivers, or it's not a store that you can walk into. But that's a good example of how, when there's a demand, people will fill it, and the opportunity to get some of these lower carb products a little more easily. Okay. Other positives before we get into challenges? Anybody else have anything?
What is the norm for the A1C?
Pardon me?
What is the norm for the A1C?
Well, the way A1C works is that the normal A1C runs anywhere from the 4.8 or so, up to 5.3, 5.5. People up to 5.7 would still be considered normal. At 5.7, it's then considered to be pre-diabetic. Up to 6.5. At 6.5, it's now diabetes. And there are people who have A1Cs of 11, 12, 13, 15, whatever, okay? And those are folks who are on, if they're getting treatment, hopefully, they're on loads of medication, but they're never told about lower carbohydrate diets. So they just keep taking more and more medication. Their disease never goes away. It gets worse over time. And there's actually one study, that don't scare anybody by telling this, that people who are on tightly controlled medication, they're doing just all the right things, and people who are not, who just skip their meds and one thing and another, they die at the same rate. So being very careful about your medication doesn't reduce your longevity, okay? So you got to be a little bit careful about that. The problem is, if you know, I think I've made this case before, whether it's alcohol or gluten, you know, you tell your friends, you know, you have gluten sensitivity and you can't eat anything with gluten, you'll take that very seriously and nobody will question you. So if you run around and say, I'm carbohydrate insensitive, people give you a hard time about that. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to be on the same drug I'm on? Come on. You know?
Now, how about soy?
Soy?
Some people I know can't have soy
Oh, that's possible. Yeah,
for
there's-
some reason.
yeah.
They're on thyroid medication.
Yeah,
That's what
can
they
be.
said.
There are a
Soy
number of
throws
things
it
that people
off.
can't
I
have.
can't eat
Right.
soy.
Yeah.
I don't take anything
But,
soy.
you know, there's no one who has to have carbohydrates, period. Okay? No one gets sick or dies from lack of carbohydrates. Okay? Plain and
Doesn't your-
simple.
Does your, like some people say your brain needs carbs to function, but
Your
it's
brain
in-
does,
it's
and
in
it
the-
makes all the carbs it needs. Your liver is nicely set up to do that. Okay?
Automatically.
So you
Because that's
don't
what
need
they're
to
telling me
eat.
at work.
That's where the
Yeah,
dietitians
okay.
get confused. They think you need 130 grams of carbs to keep your brain
Yeah.
functioning, that you have to eat that amount every day. No. You know, don't worry about it, okay? Like I said, the Eskimos have been living through eons without any carbs at all. And they're healthier than any of us in this room, okay? So, challenges. What else has been difficult?
Celebrations.
Celebrations, okay. There's sweets everywhere, right? Do you have any strategies?
I did it yesterday.
Eat
Oh,
and go,
you know,
huh?
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it, huh?
And you know what I've been doing is your chocolate,
What's that?
the chocolate that you brought.
Yeah.
I go and get, they have different ones. I go and get that
Yeah.
at Trader Joe's because I've noticed that, you know, that helps. One little square
Yeah.
helps. When everybody's
Absolutely.
doing all the like cakes and different things, that helps too.
If everybody else, and quite honestly, I have one after lunch
And
and
then-
dinner every day, simply because
It tastes nice.
it tastes good, and I don't like whatever taste I have left in my mouth. It's a nice way of, what do the French call it, you know, cleansing your palate, that kind
Right.
of thing.
And it
Yeah.
does, yeah.
But just a little something sweet after you
A little
eat
something,
is
yeah.
something that
I'm talking
I
one of those,
identify.
And you
Yeah.
know, it's,
4 of those squares is 1 gram.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so you're talking a quarter of a gram.
And
Okay.
they only get, I've only found it there. I'm in search.
I do not know where else to get Simply Lite other than Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Right, and you can order it online, but it'll cost you like $5 a bar. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Not only
ridiculous.
that, the one at the Trader Joe's comes 3.5 ounces. You buy that through Amazon, they sell you 3 ounces. It looks the same size, but it's a lot thinner.
oh, interesting.
And you
the
pay
other,
more
the other
money.
thing is this, like I cannot eat that. It contains maltitol, and if you know your body doesn't accept that, your intestines are going to tell you.
Right.
You know, you
What's-
become
can't eat a lot.
constipated and so forth.
Right.
What
yeah,
is it?
But
it
quite
even says
frankly,
that on
What
the
is
packet.
maltitol?
Maltitol, it's a
It's
sugar
a
alcohol.
sugar.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Think of alcohol.
Yeah.
Things that end in a hall are made with alcohol.
Okay.
Alcohol is made with sugar, which
Yeah.
is then converted, okay? And then remember, your liver is what digests it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a
okay?
bad weekend, I know it already. Well, because the road race is tomorrow,
Oh, yeah.
and I volunteer starting tonight.
Aha.
I work it the whole weekend, and it's
Yeah.
not a side, it's all this stuff.
Pizza.
and
Solid. That's a real problem.
Now I Trader Joe's.
I
when you
won't
go
contain
get the
anything.
chocolate,
I'll just
they have
enjoy.
two versions
And then I'll go
side by side.
back.
Sometimes they mix them up.
Yeah,
One is the one you buy, and the other one is milk chocolate.
yeah,
Same company, but then there's a sugar and
yeah.
Be careful.
Well, they have a milk chocolate version, which is, I think, it's double the carbs in it,
Mhm.
yeah. And then they have them with almonds, but I say, why are you paying for your almonds that way? Buy a bag of almonds and eat
And
it with
enjoy it with
chocolate,
it.
you know?
I take mine with cheese, my chocolate with
Yeah,
the cheese sometimes.
there you go.
Depends on my mood. So I go by,
Right.
I listen to
Yeah.
what I want. My body
Yeah.
says what I want. I just
The only
eat
thing I
whatever.
haven't found out how to do is to keep that chocolate from melting in your pocket if you're carrying it.
Oh, well, you know.
Right. Put it in a plastic bag, because
It will melt,
it
yeah.
gets about body temperature and it melts, so, yeah.
At night, when my husband wants to have ice cream,
Yep,
I take a little bowl and squirt whipped cream in it.
yeah.
Pretend that and it's real, I love it.
It's
I
helping
love it.
you?
Yeah.
So
it
you just
is.
have whipped cream and.
Yeah, just whipped cream.
Whipped cream for dessert, right,
Yep.
absolutely.
Sometimes I throw a couple of nuts on top and, you know,
Good.
it's really, it does it for me.
Yep.
anyway.
You want a little something sweet. Okay?
Yep.
Little, I love full-fat cream, heavy whipping cream on any kind of berries, strawberries, blueberries, whatever. And you don't have to have a lot, you know.
No,
But
you
it's
don't.
a nice way to
'cause
finish
it-
a meal.
It satisfies.
Right, yeah, it does.
Put it in the
right.
freezer so you psychologically
it's
think
like
you're eating
cotton
ice cream.
candy, it's foamy, bulky.
Yes, it is.
What's
It's my
the-
favorite
what's-
part of a Sunday anyway, is the whipped cream, so.
What's
There you
a quick,
go.
easy dressing to put on salads when you're eating? What's a quick, easy, low carb, low sugar dressing that you can make?
Olive oil and.
Just
Yeah,
olive oil
olive oil
and
and
vinegar.
vinegar is the
Balsamic
vinegar.
simple.
How about balsamic?
Cider vinegar and
I use
olive oil.
balsamic.
Yeah,
Mine's
and
cider
then
vinegar.
you can get powdered mixes that go in it,
Go in there, oh, okay.
you know,
I do
stuff like
balsamic.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, balsamic
Balsamic
vinegar
with
is
olive
good,
oil,
right.
how much?
But
How much is
remember,
balsamic?
you know,
Yeah, but how much? Oh,
salad dressing is a good opportunity to get more fat in your
Yeah,
diet.
it's like
So
blue
do
cheese.
not avoid the
Balsamic.
fat. A blue cheese dressing
Yeah,
is wonderful.
It is good, yeah.
It is really good, right. And
I
it's-
don't hesitate to use quite a bit.
And I
Right.
don't like salad
Yeah.
dressing, so I'm one of the
Yeah,
weirdos.
if you've got anything in your cupboard that
Cottage
says
cheese.
low fat, give it to your friends.
Blue cheese,
Okay,
Marie's,
it's
blue
not
cheese,
good for
chunky
you.
blue
Yeah.
Low
cheese.
fat, they might as well just say low fat, high sugar,
No.
okay, because that's what's going
Yeah, no,
on.
not much sugar in
Right.
it.
Well,
I
literally
I
look
use-
at
I use
the
cottage
last
cheese,
week
well,
from the
yeah,
van.
yeah.
Yep.
I like dressing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
Who has that bag of?
I gave it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
The opposite of what you've been teaching us.
Right. She's saying that, you know, when you go out to the van out here, they're going to give you a whole bunch of information. It basically says cut out fat and says nothing about carbs.
Still had the
Okay.
pyramid in
It's
there.
scary.
Still has the old food pyramid in.
Yeah, well, they should be on the same track.
Pardon me?
They should be on the same track as
Well,
you.
I can't
In
change
roundabout way.
the USDA. And
No, but I mean them should, if
Well,
they're in
and
this
you
fitness.
know, Amanda, who's been the dietitian here, she works for South Coast.
Yeah.
And she's constantly prescribing low carb.
My doctor's South Coast
Diets
too,
for-
and he's into all
for
this
patients.
natural. Yeah,
Right.
he's really good.
She can do that, but she can't change the
No.
USDA guidelines. She can't, and that's what I get, the pushback I get all the time from the medical people is, well, even if I thought that was a good thing, I can't do it because it's
That's
prescribed.
Yeah, but doctor,
Okay.
my doctor does.
Yeah, that's what I mean about
That's
the
good.
USDA has enormous influence. And just look at the graphs. You remember that one, you know, 1980 when we started the USDA diet? Boom, weight and diabetes went straight up, okay? And yet, you know, what's wrong with this picture? You know the old paradigm, you know. Thank you.
Insanity.
Right, the definition of
Yeah,
insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what's been going on. And you've got faculty, textbooks writers, food corporations,
Scary.
the whole world is so invested in this low-fat
Yes, it is.
that to turn it around would, I'm simply saying, we're just gonna wait till they all die. I mean, they're not gonna give it up. Okay, so that's why I say for the next 20 years, you're going to hear that. What is beginning to happen, and if you go on Andreas Einfeld's dietdoctor.com, he just reported the number of people who are on that page. They got something like 40,000 hits a day and 150,000 members, and one thing or another. I mean, it's growing exponentially. Okay, because this will be what he calls his food revolution. It's going to be a revolution that starts from the bottom up. That as people discover this themselves, and thank God for the internet, they will learn, because like I say, don't listen to me, listen to your body. When you change what you eat in this way, your body will tell you that it's getting healthier. You'll lose some weight, your blood work will improve, you feel better, all of that. Okay, so if people just trust what their body tells them, they'll do fine. And then you have to go and tell your doctor they're crazy or ignore their results or what have you. Anybody been to a doctor who was happy with the results they've been having? Yeah.
End of April, I'll be going.
Yeah.
Lower cholesterol.
Lower cholesterol
Time
over
after
here.
time.
Right.
You know, except when I go to skate, it's okay. Low fat, low carb and so forth, but
Right.
they see the weight coming down,
Right.
and then they say, oh, man, I have to find out about that. I
Yeah,
heard about
right.
that.
You should find out about
And
it.
my doctor's got that routine. I stay away from fats and so on.
Oh, yeah.
The more fats I eat, the better. What? He sort of wakes up. Oh, well, sees the results and
That's the teachable moment, when you walk in there and all your numbers are better, and then you get to tell your doctor what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because up till that point, they'll rely on what they believe to be
Right.
true.
That, my doctor is at South Coast.
Yep.
Just right in the same building as Amanda.
Oh, yeah.
And so she referred me to Amanda because I was pre-diabetic. And I don't know, that's why I'm excited about this A1C, so I can go check it
Sure.
myself. Because that was in January that I saw the doctor, and I told her what I was doing, but I kind of baby stepped around it because I wasn't sure where she fell in her beliefs. And
Right.
I said, you know, I'm doing a low carbohydrate, high fat diet. She goes, well, I hope it's not too high. I'm like, okay, I'm not saying anymore,
Right.
you know. And then went on, I'm very, very low carb. I would say in the beginning, I'm sure it was probably about 100 a day. Now, I'm sure that I don't eat more than 20 a
Really?
day.
Yeah, so you're down to a,
But I'm not losing weight as fast as I'd like
Right.
to.
yep. Well, take a look at the Dealing with Stalls article that
Okay.
I passed around. I think you got 4 copies.
doing
So
it.
what's your activity?
Keep doing it, yeah.
Are you
keep
walking?
doing it.
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
oh, thanks so much.
And remember,
Yeah.
weight is not
No,
necessarily
I
the
know,
gold
I
standard.
know that. I mean,
But if you'd like to lose more weight, try those techniques and incorporate fasting.
yes, I think
I have
I
a friend
will.
who fasts 1 day a week. You know, that's one way to do
See,
it.
I find that help walking.
Yeah,
It's been helping me.
and I
Walk at work.
find
I'll
that
go to
as
work
long
early
as,
and
if
walk
I can be
first.
physically active for the day, hunger goes away. You know, the
Well,
problem
that's-
with hunger is when you're sitting around.
Yeah, the
Because
boredom
you pay
factor,
attention
yeah.
to it. Okay, but if you can get engaged in things, you know, you might have a 20-minute hunger pang, but it goes away. Anything else?
I'm addicted to pumpkin seeds,
Oh, yeah.
and I
Those are
looked
great,
it up,
those are
and
great.
you can have like 95 of them
Yeah.
and be good, and that's good.
Yeah,
The thing is, I couldn't find any information on like with the shells, because they're so small, I eat it with the shells, and I like that crunchiness.
lots of fiber, right?
But the shells, just the shelling, does that have carbs?
No, that's fiber.
Oh,
That's
It's,
where the
uh,
flavor is. Portuguese
You're safe.
cold
I go to
pepper, fresh-
Portugalia,
fresh
they
pepper
have
and
it.
garlic.
No, well, seeds are fine.
I love them.
It's when we refine them and try to press oil out of them in huge factories, and that's when we.
These are raw, and I just ate them.
That's good. Okay, I don't want to go over time here. Is it 11 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, thank you very much. We'll, again, remember, next week we'll be back, we'll be over at Laterno School, and we'll carry on the conversation.
Great.
Okay? All right, hope to see you then.
When you go to Walmart,
Uh-huh.
those ones that can extend one in